I think it's very unfortunate that workers seem to be intent on embarking on what we would call an unprotected strike, allegedly because there was not enough consultation, because I know for a fact that there was consultation and there was sufficient consultation. Now, as the African National Congress, we fully support this initiative by the Accounting Office of Hibiscus Coast Municipality, because it is in actual fact in line with the objective of the African National Congress of improving service delivery.
But now, the only logical conclusion is that these people do not want to be checked coming in and out, coming and going to work, because what logical reason can there be for them not to want to be to have an electronic system?
Well, I think what you've just said is the same conclusion we arrived at as the African National Congress, because there were engagements, especially with the leadership of the unions, where the accounting officer, the councillors, sat down with them in several LLF meetings, where they were invited to make representations and state clearly what is it that they see as something that is going to be disadvantageous to them, and they could not come with any other reason. Currently, they are using the manual form of signing in and out. And what we would like to emphasize as the African National Congress is that whilst workers have rights, but management also has a right, and we believe very earnestly that the management is acting within its right to ensure that workers come in, work and knock off at times that are stipulated. So we regard that as something that is very much necessary. It's a management tool. And we don't see anything wrong with that. We support that fully as the African National Congress.
Is my information correct? It's only SAMWU. It's only the SAMWU members who are against this.
So far, only SAMWU members have declared a dispute on this. By declaring dispute, I mean it's only SAMWU that have said they are not happy with this.
Now, SAMWU is part of COSATU.
It is.
Okay. Now, is there no link maybe up higher? The divisions are higher in the ranks between ANC, COSATU. Is there no relation, maybe a line that one can draw there?
Well, I wouldn't be in a position to say that. We have not as yet determined whether there is anything of that sort. What seems to be happening here is that you have workers who, for whatever reason, are not willing to comply with what management has put before them as a rule.
So, well, let's just go to Ugu. The same situation we have there. Didi Naidu, the new municipal manager, he has implemented austerity measures, but the people don't want that. They still want to work more overtime, etc., and cost the the municipality money. What is the ANC's viewpoint on that situation? Are you also behind Didi Naidu and the management there?
We are. In actual fact, what we think workers have to take into account is that municipality is under dire financial strains. And Didi Naidu was then mandated to make sure that he minimizes costs. He does everything that he can do in his ability to make sure that he reduces costs. And workers should also take into account the fact that if his efforts are stifled, because I would say what they are doing now is actually contrary to that mandate of Didi Naidu stabilizing that municipality. If that fails, the attempt to stabilize the municipality financially fails, it will eventually cost them their jobs. I think it's one thing that they need to bear in mind at all times, that what is done is not done for the purpose of, making their lives difficult, but it is to save the municipality and, by extension, saving their jobs. So the ANC is fully supportive of that.
Yeah, it looks that they're solidly behind the management of
Yeah.
UGU and of HCM. Now, to conclude, any message you have to people out there?
Well, I think what needs to happen is that employees who are employed in these municipalities should know that the ANC, because most of them are members of the ANC also has their interests at heart. Whatever is happening in these municipalities is happening for the purpose of safeguarding their jobs as well. But they should also know that it is the prerogative of management to manage. So long as management do not do anything that tramples on their right, workers have no right to interfere. That is one thing that one would like to convey. And also to encourage employees, especially those who are members of the ANC, to refrain from any wrongdoing, because that will eventually lead to them being dismissed if they continue. In certain cases, there may also be criminal charges opened against people who engage in illegal activities.
Is it fair to say, or to come to the conclusion, that maybe in the past they got away with it, and now with new management they're not going to get away with it, and that's why we have the problem?
One cannot say with certainty that it may happen that in the past, because they don't give any reason. There is no logical reason that is given. If you are signing manually, why would you then have a problem using your thumbprint, you see? So I don't know, but I think it's important that workers should know that this is not just with regard to HCM, it is not just a decision of the MM. Because what we have also noticed is that the MM is now being targeted as if this is something of his own. This is a council decision. In fact, it's a decision that has been taken long before the MM was there. Should
the threats against his life be taken seriously, you think?
Well, I think they should be taken seriously. Any threats should be taken seriously, because you don't know. There may be, there may be external forces involved. We can't say for certain what is happening, but any threats needs to be taken seriously. And as the African National Congress, we do take these threats seriously.
Sipho, there have been accusations or allegations that there were irregularities when the time management system, when the tenders went out. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Now, as the African National Congress, we want to reiterate what we have been saying all along, that, look, we are very much committed to a clean governance, and if anybody is in possession of evidence implicating whoever in corruption, we would invite those persons to come forward with that information and convey that that information to law enforcement agencies in the country. Because we do believe that corruption goes contrary to the objectives of the African National Congress and to the mandate of the ANC to provide service delivery. And we are very proud of what we have achieved in 20 years' time, with the number of houses that we have built and the number of children who are now in certain schools, do not pay fees and so on and so forth. But we believe that if allegations of corruption are in fact correct, they need to be attended to immediately, and we are very serious about this.
Sipho, is there anything else you'd like to tell the people out there?
Well, what I would like to tell the people is that as the African National Congress, we are very proud of our achievement in 20 years. We have made a good start. For instance, we ended discrimination. We're the first party to do that. We ended discrimination. We passed hundreds of laws. 3 million houses have been built. 15 million are currently getting grants. And more people now are getting access to water, countrywide. I know that at Ugu there are certain problems, but if you were to compare to the yesteryears, you'll find that more and more people are now getting access to services. And of course, we know that there are challenges. We're the first to acknowledge that there are serious challenges: poverty, unemployment, poor services, HIV and AIDS, healthcare services, and so on, are still some of the things that are lagging. But the African National Congress has demonstrated time after time that it is working towards that, and it is very much committed. I would like to say to people is that they should work with us in order to achieve a better life for all.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.